Salam, hi, it's Rick Lemroff once again, currency strategist / commodity strategist at Taheri Exchange. And if you haven't heard, today we've had a lot of interesting news. Let's start off with Monday. Monday going on to the rest of the week. Continual just choppiness on the US dollar, continual weakness on the US dollar. And we're seeing, the range between, it was in the lower 103 to the higher 102 range. And then, of course, the talk was going on into the week. We had the banks, Spain in particular, 16 banks were downgraded. And what happened was then the rumor said, well, it wasn't 16 banks. We have to readjust all that. The overall picture is that the European situation is getting worse. And from what I mentioned last week, how the U.S. administration is trying to get themselves involved. Well, now going on to this week, we have the leftist party called the Syria or Skirizia, the name of the Greek political party that is going to make their vote this Sunday. And it's really crucial because today the markets reacted, as they did from Wednesday or Thursday onwards, to a very bearish market. Unfortunately, that didn't continue itself, well, actually fortunate, it did continue itself and peeled off today because the market is now a little cautious and waiting to see what's happening with these elections. Why is those elections crucial in Greece? Reason being is that if this leftist party wins, then is Greece going to be out of the picture? Are the next few other nations, Portugal, Ireland, or even Italy or Spain, will they be next? My gut feeling is probably the central banks will probably get involved, like the ECB stated today, and they'll probably inject more stimulus. So even if the leftist party does win, they'll try to either calm the situation down. You won't see anything happen, meaning the euro situation as the Greece leaving the euro happening by Monday. But if the worst case scenario happens, they play into weeks upon weeks where it's just basically they're funding the situation, funding Greece, funding all the other nations, but it's not a resolve. And it really boils down to Germany. So this is the key question. This summer, what's going to happen continuing euro? And I've been talking about this on every show that I've had. This is what's going to happen. The situation is the US gets involved, the ECB gets involved, the other central banks of Europe or around the world get involved, and they try to calm the situation. And maybe even the Fed might start injecting some stimulus, which means print more money. And that will calm the equity markets and maybe ease things. But then again, you can't throw that in the bucket because we have our Middle East tensions. For a lot of our Persian clients, this week, you've had a great selling week, partly going into Monday, Tuesday. Now you're looking at a buyer's week that ended this week. Will it continue next week? Monday is the scary part because a lot of hedge funds are on alert this weekend. So all I can tell you is that there's a lot of uneasiness this week, and I've noticed that today, just trending the markets. To the point of people are concerned that it might even be a Lehman Brothers situation that we had happen in the United States. And you know what happened then? We had a financial crisis. I've seen this on the technical side, seeing the way the trends are. I don't see that happening right now. Could it happen? You never know. With every day in the markets, it's becoming uneasy. But at the same time, I just keep on telling a lot of my Persian clients, if you're selling your US dollars and it's still a little bit above parity, you're doing well. And right now, you're still a little bit above parity. For buyers, it's still a little bit better for buyers as well. But overall, we were ending off in the 102.34 range. We were higher in the 102.78 range. So overall, as I mentioned before, looking at diversifying investments, look at precious metals again, as I mentioned, gold, silver. It's a really good time to jump in while the markets, if the Greece situation does get worse, these precious metals will rise, and what will happen, the US dollar will rise as well. So you're in a win-win situation with precious metals, and with the US dollar at present, you'll be in a win-win situation if you're a seller, if on Monday, the Greece situation gets worse. So from a temporary short-term basis, going on to next week, we may see higher US dollar rates, good time for sellers, or the reverse may be much lower US dollar rates, which mean good buying times to buy US dollars. We look forward to seeing you again.